And this is second videos of the pre-calc regular students. This is example 5 of assignment 52, chapter 5-1. You have to rewrite this expression. Okay, so I think we did during the class, but I just do it again here. Sine t plus cotangent t and cosine t. So how do you write down cotangent t, right? Cotangent t represent cosine t over sine t. So first thing you have to write down this. You cannot cancel out, so we have to carry on to this. Since this is a multiplication, it's the left hand side you carry on as it is, sine t and cosine square t over sine t. Now you have to rewrite this with common denominator, right? So it's going to be 1 over sine over t over 1. If you rewrite this expression to equivalent to this, it has to be sine squared t over sine t. That becomes sine t, right? Because you cancel out. Now you have common um, denominator. So sine squared t plus cosine squared t is going to be numerator over sine t. So we did the Pythagorean identity. Sine squared t plus cosine squared t equivalent to 1. So 1 over sine t is the answer. However, they ask you to rewrite without the fraction. So 1 over sine t equal cosecant t. Okay, so that's example 5. And we do example 6. All right, so example 6, we do this one. So let me cut and paste. Maybe I have it here. All right, so this is what we have here. When you see this, let's see, simply, so we have to add this, but we don't have a common factor. So to get common factor, what we have to do is equivalent to, you have to multiply equivalent to 1. So sine theta over sine theta is 1, right? And this time common factor is 1 plus cosine theta is going to be the denominator. If you multiply this one, it will be equivalent to this. So to what is equivalent to 1? 1 plus cosine theta over 1 plus cosine theta. So now you have a common factor. You multiply numerator for this side, which is sine squared theta. Sine theta times sine theta is sine squared theta. And this is cosine theta, parenthesis, 1 plus cosine theta. Now, what we can do right now, the same denominator, but I think what I did here is going to be distributive property. So if you distribute property, what happens? This is sine squared theta, is the yellow highlighted one, right? Cosine theta times 1 is cosine theta. Cosine theta times cosine theta is cosine squared theta, which is what? We just did the Pythagorean identity, which is 1. So numerator, without this crayon tool, numerator is 1 plus cosine theta. Now, take a look at the denominator. Denominator, this is common denominator. That's why only showing up only once. Now, if you put parentheses here, which means you can cancel this out. So that's why I use a crayon tool to cancel out. Okay, so cancel, cancel. What's the leftover? If you cancel, you have to put 1 over sine theta, which is what? Cosecant theta. This is the final answer for example 6. Example 7 is this question. Let me see. I opened example 7, so maybe I type it, so it might be a little cleaner to see. Okay, so we have to use this one for non-fractional form. Okay, so let's see. So let me hide the answer here. So I redo it this one. Okay, so first let's write down this equation. 1 over 1 and what? There are many ways you can think about this. Fraction 1 over, not I, 1, oh, 1, sorry, 1 over 1 minus sine theta. Oh God, sorry, this sine x, 1 plus sine x. 1 over 1 plus sine x. Okay, so now, so you have this. Let's see what we can do. If you want to get rid of this, let's see. There are many ways you can do, but if you want to have the different denominator, uh, what is best denominator to get rid of this? Maybe you can get rid of the then maybe you can think of a 1 over 1 plus 1 over sine x, which is 1 plus sine cosecant x. This is without fraction. This is this simple. Let me see the answer the way I did. It's quite different. Okay, they didn't say conjugate, so this is one of the answer I was thinking. So let me put this on away. So I think your textbook showing the conjugate here. Conjugate means you have to multiply the opposite sign of this. So if this is, you have to come up 1 plus sine x. I put the parentheses here. Yeah. Now you have to multiply by 1 equivalent to this. So it must be, if you want to cancel numerator, it's going to be 1 minus sine x, right? If you remember difference of 2 squared, so this might be a good expression to use it. Now, the difference of two expressions, if you square of the first term minus square of the last term, so which is 1 square, is just write down 1 square minus sine square x. That's a numerator. Denominator is 1 minus sine x. Okay, first you have to come out this. This is what? 1, right? This is, so I write down 1 here. I'll just write down this one to 1, okay? Okay, now 1 minus, once you see this, use the Pythagorean theorem, right? X squared, I'm sorry, sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta equal 1. So this must be cosine squared theta. So let me write down this one is, denominator is now cosine square x. All right, how about this one? It's nothing to do with it. Oh, we can't do it because there's no square sign. Let's see. Anybody? This is the first thing you have to do. Sine sine square x. Okay. Wait, I'm sorry, not square here. Okay, think about this. So this just use this one for now. Now what? I think we can separate this expression and see what will happen. Okay. So 1 over sine square x minus sine x over cosine. I'm sorry, 1 over cosine square x. So let me write down new equation based on this. Okay, we separate this. I don't know if it's the right way to do it. So first, keep the fraction. First one is 1 over cosine square x. And subtract fraction sine x and cosine square x. Right? Now you see this. This is, see, think this is secant x, right? But you have to separate this. If you multiply, okay, it's a little bit complicated, but first of all, 1 over cosine square is a secant, right? Secant square x. And this is separate too. So let me see. Sine, make sure you keep the fraction here. Sine x over, let's write down cosine x. And say, you're Mr. You can just, what happened to square sign? You see, because it's a multiplication here. Put the multiplication sign here. You can just write down type 1 cosine x. Okay. Is this equivalent? Yes, because sine, so cosine x times cosine is a cosine x squared. Sine x times 1 is sine x. Okay. Now, what is common? Non-fractional form. So how can you get rid of the fraction, right? So you have to multiply everything 1. Cosine x over cosine x. So think about, you multiply cosine x over cosine x, which is 1. So I will use this equation. Okay, so this is the equation we reached. Now, okay, so let me see. Maybe you can write down this one first. The first one is as it is because no fraction. Sine x over cosine x is SOHCAHTOA, right? So it's a tangent. So I write down this one as it is. Tangent x. 1 over cosine x is secant, right? So this is secant here. So, but it's multiplication. So you can write down tangent x, secant x. It can be reversed, secant x, tangent x. Let me see. Yes, this is the answer. Let's see your textbook number 7. Okay, tangent x, secant x. Okay, you can reverse, but this is the expression. Okay, I hope you understand. Example 8 is going to be Let's do example 8 too. Let me pause the video here and I do example 8, and example 9 is already up. So this is the end of chapter 5-1. Yeah. Next video will be the end of chapter 5-1. And actually next 2 videos, because I already have example 9. Okay. I pause the video here.